You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
Monsters are as old as humanity itself. Monsters embody our fears. Yet, they help us define the boundaries of what it means to be human. We know most monsters aren't real, yet we can use monsters to learn about reality. Psychology, biology, folklore, literature, critical thinking. We're on a journey to learn about the world through the lens of monsters. And we hope you'll come along with us. Subscribe at monstertalk.org.
Hey there, and welcome to Fan Theory Queries, where we analyze fan theories from all over the internet, but mostly Reddit. I'm Laura.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Spencer, and surprise, we found a few more spooky fan theories. So rather than Freaky Fridays, the remainder of October will have Monster Mondays, Weird Wednesdays, and Frightening Fridays.
Oh,
Nice.
We went a level up on Friday.
Yes.
It's not freaky.
Yes.
It's frightening.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Well, then I get to kick it off on Monster Monday, talking about Werewolf by Night. So
Ooh, this is fresh, hot off the press stuff.
brand
Yes.
new. So if
So-
you haven't watched Werewolf by Night yet, you might want to stop this recording
Spoilers.
right now.
Yeah. Go watch it and then come back and listen to this.
And you'll thank us because you watched
Yes.
it because it's so good.
Oh yes, please do.
So
And
fantastic.
we deserve the praise
Such a
for
good
it.
movie.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, I loved it.
I mean, the director's name is Michael as well. So, I mean,
There is
And-
that.
And your name
Michael-
is Michael.
when one Michael succeeds, we all succeed.
Like Michael Myers in Halloween, and he killed people.
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
just want to confirm.
And the lead actress's name is Laura, kind of close
Mhm.
to Lara.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my name is Spencer, and no one in this production is named that.
True. There's
I
that.
think one of the
too.
gaffers might have been named Spencer.
No, the best boy.
Yes.
Yes.
So, like I said, this is from Werewolf by Night. This theory is that the Bloodstone has chaos magic.
Whoa.
And I think,
interesting.
Spencer, you stumbled across this, correct?
I did stumble. I
Um,
did bruise my knee a little bit, but I picked myself back up and sent this over to Laura to see if she liked it. And I guess she did. She didn't tell me she didn't.
And to transcribe it. Because this came from a video from Screen Crush. So
Oh,
the
interesting.
authors of this theory are Colton Ogburn and Ryan Airy. So they say, and so of course you noticed the stone is red, the only color in this black and white world. This selective saturation is often called the Pleasantville effect after the 1990s film. In that movie, Tobey Maguire and Reese Witherspoon are transported into a 1950s sitcom that they unintentionally modernize. As they do, people, places, and objects in the town are colorized, leading to rampant metaphors. Oh, my favorite.
It's the best kind of metaphor.
Mhm.
Yes, rampant. This
Yes.
effect was used to great effect years earlier in the masterpiece Schindler's List. And in that film, red is used to show an object of singular importance. It's the red coat of a child that inspires Oskar Schindler to see the persecuted Jews as human beings. And we've seen this effect in the MCU before in WandaVision.
And Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, when they go to that planet with Gore.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Some
Kind of.
color there.
Mm-hmm. So in episode 2 of WandaVision, various objects in Wanda's sitcom reality were colorized. There was the drone from the outside world and the blood on, it said the blood on this hand. That's what they said in the video because they were showing the clip. I think it's that lady that's like the head of the HOA or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
the blonde
I think
lady.
you're right. Mhm.
That so spoiler alerts if you haven't watched WandaVision, maybe don't listen to this theory too.
Our podcast is
Yeah.
a spoiler, one giant spoiler. So
Just assume there's spoilers in every theory.
Yeah, so just assume you should watch stuff. So okay, oh yeah, blood on the hand. In each instance, these moments represented an incursion from the outside world. Okay. But the most significant colorization in the episode was at the end when Wanda kissed Vision, impregnating herself.
Mm-hmm.
Mommy, where do babies come from? Oh, you kiss a robot. So she kissed Vision, impregnated herself, and then colorized first them and then the entire world. This is an instance of Wanda's red chaos magic bringing color into a colorless world, making me, as in our authors here, wonder if the Bloodstone is yet another relic of chaos magic. In Multiverse of Madness, we learned that the elder god, Chthon, kind of like Cthulhu, I think, was
It's his older brother.
Chthon, turn your music down! Was the source of Wanda's chaos magic, Chthon was. And in the comics, Chthon was one of the first beings to ever walk the earth. So what if in the MCU, Chthon is one of the oldest beings in the universe and his red chaos magic is tied to the reality stone, the ether, which was created at the Big Bang, meaning that the Bloodstone could be another aspect of this energy, another dark chaos remnant of a power that can reshape reality into a force for chaos.
That's interesting. Did y'all ever even think about that, make that connection when you saw the red? Michael's going to say, yes, I did. That's the first
on Werewolf by Madness?
Yeah. Well,
Werewolf by Night. Cool. Sorry. Werewolf by Night. Yeah, actually, it did. Yes. No, it did cross my mind when I was watching it because, first off, it is set in the MCU, even if it is kind of a one-off side story. I still think there could be a connection there. And like they said in the theory, the biggest connection you can make when it's in the same universe as the MCU is the Reality Stone and the Chaos Magic. So, it makes sense to me.
Honestly, it was really cool the way they put the two scenes side by side. First of Wanda kissing Vision and then the scene becoming colorized. Mm-hmm. And then right next to that, they put Elsa sitting down in the chair holding the Bloodstone and the colors seeping in everywhere. Mm-hmm. They were very similar looking scenes when they did that.
Yeah.
Pause for a second. Michael, visually, it looks like your levels are getting high, but it sounds fine to me. How does it sound to you, Laura? I don't hear the peaking.
It sounds okay.
Okay. The reason why I brought it up to you, Laura, is because I could actually hear you blah. But you're sounding much better now.
On my meter, it's showing that my voice is a lot smaller than both of you. So
okay.
I just assumed
that's how it shows
on
mine. Yeah, it sounds fine, and we'll go with what it sounds like.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
I like this last statement too about another dark chaos remnant of a power that can reshape reality into a force for chaos. So that's what we're thinking about, of how it reshapes something into a force for chaos. And think about when Jack Russell walked up to touch it and it blasted him back. And then later they held it up in front of him and it turned him into the werewolf. So reshaping reality into a force for chaos. I thought that was very cool parallel drawn there.
Yeah. And it's very possible that the Bloodstone has a lot more power to it than just what they were using it for. They just didn't realize the true potential of this object.
Oh, definitely.
I'm trying to remember if they gave much explanation for it, other than they put it on the creature to weaken it. And it was a hereditary thing, not hereditary, but an inherited thing.
It's an heirloom.
There you go. And but she would have gotten it if she hadn't disowned the family, which I'm curious to know that whole backstory. But yeah, I'm real curious to know how else it's been used before, and I'm also curious to know just the end of the episode ends with everything becoming color. Is the black and white just a stylistic thing to be like the old movies, or is there more to is it actually a black and white universe that's gaining color because of the events of this? Like, is it just a cool thing, or is there meaning to it? What do you think?
Are you saying like, is it like a Wizard of Oz type situation?
I don't know, but I mean, they mentioned Pleasantville. You know, the whole movie started off black and white, and eventually
Well, and
all
it
becomes
plays
color.
Yeah.
somewhere over the rainbow at the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
Wizard of Oz.
I kind of, or maybe it's like The Giver, in a way. Did you guys ever read that book in high school?
Not high school.
So long ago. I read that in junior high. Yeah.
I just remember this is a guy that gives
So-
stuff.
Long story short, everybody can only see in like black and white and grays.
Mhm.
And it's because you find out later, another spoiler, people, but you find out later that they're like being drugged or manipulated in some chemical way to prevent them from seeing like color and experiencing the world as it's meant to be seen. And eventually the protagonist discovers that and can see color and stuff. But like once the drugs and stuff wear off, they stop taking these drugs, they can see everything in color like normal. So maybe this Bloodstone is kind of doing that for this this group of people or this area. I don't know. They don't ever really say like that they're for sure on Earth. Like it could be another planet, you know, that's very similar to Earth, because in the Marvel universe there are a lot of different planets that are very similar ecosystem wise to Earth, and it's just that they have these variances and stuff. So I don't know.
Well, we've
It's
also
possible.
established that we're in a multiverse now. It could just be a different Earth.
Yeah, exactly. This Earth
What
didn't
was
have
the-
color before the Bloodstone.
So what was the purpose for there being no color in Thor? That particular world?
So that particular world, yes, that's what the
Okay.
world looks like.
Okay.
That was a
teeny
different
tiny
situation.
little world that
Yeah.
the ship crashed into.
Yeah.
The goats.
Oh, that's one of my favorite parts of the movie.
So what is interesting though is you talk about The Giver, we talk about Pleasantville. Those
Mhm.
visual changes are apparent to the characters, where in this
Yes.
short movie, whatever you want to call it, special, there is no indication from what I recall that anybody is noticing any shift in
Mhm.
color.
Very true.
Yeah, because the only two people present at that point are Elsa and the older gentleman that's like the butler or whatever,
Mhm.
and they don't really react to the color appearing. They're just kind of going about their normal stuff.
Well,
And
then we cut
whenever it
to
comes to-
Jack and Man Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're already in color, and they don't seem to react to it in any way. So
Well, one thing that I also heard was, I mean, and I totally agree that directors can use both things. It doesn't have to be a one or an other,
Mhm.
but also
Yeah.
the way that they had the blood splatter onto the camera and stuff, which was super cool.
mhm.
The
Yeah.
fact that it's in black and white makes it better for the ratings.
Yep, that's
so
exactly
that
right.
they don't have to be rated R with
Mhm.
that. Much
Yep.
like
Gotcha.
how in
Yeah.
Thor: Love and Thunder, when the gods are being murdered and there's gold blood going everywhere, it's okay
Yeah.
because it doesn't look like real
That's right.
blood.
Yeah, that is definitely an old trick in Hollywood
Mhm.
to kind of fudge on the ratings a bit.
Mhm. That's why a lot of aliens don't have red blood.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So I could talk about this movie and the cool things about it, but I just want to kind of resume my mind and get it on track to remind myself that we're talking about the fact that this theory says the Bloodstone has chaos magic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and-
Shall we go to the comments then?
Oh, sure.
There was only a couple of YouTube comments that I thought were relevant. It was funny how many people were like, did you happen to notice in the top right corner there was this tiny little circle that would pop up? Sometimes it's called a cigarette burn. Like so many people were like, oh, I'm so smart for noticing this.
Uh-huh. People just wear me out.
It's funny. Anyway, so Stephen Beeler said the Bloodstone could play a cool role in the future because it brings out the true monster, which means it could trigger Hulk, She-Hulk, and Abomination to their quote-unquote true form.
Well, I'm curious about that because if it's supposed to bring out the true monster, it didn't do that to Man Thing. It subdued him.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I don't
I
understand.
think it's more of the way it's used. I think it
Is
has
like
the
almost like a
capability of
spell
doing
or
both.
something.
Because that lady was saying a spell to make
That's
Mhm.
true.
Jack turn into
That's
Yeah.
true.
the werewolf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
And which would make, is she a Scarlet Witch then? Maybe not a Scarlet Witch, but a witch.
I don't know.
Wanda's aunt.
I mean, she definitely acted like a witch.
That's true.
Yeah, I did not like her. She did a great job.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
the
great
next-
actress.
Yes. The next comment is from Tyler Dalrymple. That's fun. The comment is Bloodstone having reality stone powers makes sense. It could manipulate reality to make the monsters transform.
Mhm.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's a good point. If the blood or if the reality stone, if chaos magic can reshape reality, there's not like one particular rule of it only does this thing. It's just a generalization that it can reshape reality. Well, then that kind of goes in line with this thing is okay, she used it to reshape the reality that this monster is super strong. She also used it to reshape the reality that this guy is a man, but also
There's a
Dang.
random idea coming into my mind right now.
I love those.
Okay.
Could this come into play with and I'm totally spitballing and throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what'll stick or whatever, but could this come into play with Secret Invasion because it could reveal the Skrulls who are in hiding?
That would be cool.
Oh, that's a very good point. Yeah.
Maybe it could be used
I
that
don't know.
way.
We'll see.
Or they
I
could
don't know.
I mean, Marvel does have a history of setting things up like way in advance and kind of laying the groundwork for stuff
Or they
like
could
that.
just
So it's possible.
get their blood and heat it up and see how it reacts to see if
That's
they're...
wrong movie. Wrong
Oops.
movie.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Man thing.
No, the thing. Okay, so I think we're about ready for a break, but before we go, I want to give a quick shout out to some friends of ours.
I want to go on an adventure with Man Thing.
And I just want Spencer to respect my opinions.
Okay. Well, one of those three things can actually happen. So I am going to shout out the podcast Two Chunks and a Hunk. It's a movie review show where hosts Carter, Jordan, and Doge passionately discuss new, classic, and not always relevant movies.
And speaking of not relevant, hey, Michael, would you like to tell our listeners about their latest episode? Just kidding, Michael. You are relevant, but I actually don't need you right now. I can do this myself. On October 25th, you can listen to their review of Tremors. Hey, we covered a theory not too long ago that said Footloose is a prequel to Tremors. This is the loose connection we're making to give us an excuse for cross-promotion.
And, maybe they could do a review of Footloose for their next episode.
Maybe. And maybe they will join us on our show someday to discuss fan theories, like in Jurassic Park, why doesn't the Dilophosaurus attack Nedry when they first meet? Or did Tony Perkis from Heavyweights go on to create Globo Gym and Dodgeball? Or we could perhaps even discuss if Kevin McAllister from Home Alone grows up to become Jigsaw from the Saw movies.
Wow, Laura. It almost sounds like you have an entire week of episodes planned for these guys.
It sure does.
Anyway, the Tremors review from Two Chunks and a Hunk will go live tomorrow, Tuesday the 25th. Be sure to check it out.
Monsters are as old as humanity itself. Monsters embody our fears. Yet, they help us define the boundaries of what it means to be human. We know most monsters aren't real, yet we can use monsters to learn about reality. Psychology, biology, folklore, literature, critical thinking. We're on a journey to learn about the world through the lens of monsters. And we hope you'll come along with us. Subscribe at monstertalk.org.
And we're back. I don't know about y'all, but I'm itching to rate this theory. Get it? Itching because dogs have fleas.
I get it. So is there a full moon where you guys live? Get it? Like, where is in werewolf?
And werewolves love full moons. That was a really good one, Mike. You should take a bow. Wow, it was good. Get it? bow wow, the sound a dog makes?
I've never actually heard a dog say bow wow.
I've never actually heard a dog say anything because dogs don't talk.
I've heard Michael explain our theory rating scale on 44 episodes of Fan Theory Queries. Think we could make it an even 45?
Sure, but 45 isn't even. It's odd. Like you. The highest rating that we have is Genius. This is reserved for only the best theories, which we believe are better than the actual canon. The next step down is Plausible. It's a good theory, it's believable. Unlikely is next. It's not a terrible theory, but pretty unlikely, as the name suggests. And then the last thing is Preposterous. These are the theories that are just stupid. Basically, we're all dumber for having listened to them.
All right, so is the Bloodstone a remnant of chaos magic? I need to know.
I don't mind rating first.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
I'm going to say I think this is a plausible theory, because I mean I want to see so much more from this Werewolf by Night universe or whatever's you could consider it. I wish it was a series. This is the kind of thing that I can definitely get behind. Which is interesting because I remember seeing the trailer for it and thinking, oh, that doesn't look interesting to me, but it is, and I liked it. But all that to say, yeah, I think it's plausible. I need to see more to know just some other instances and examples of this thing being used. But from what we see and the way it's been used, it's reshaping reality in a certain way, which is what chaos magic does, apparently. And so, sure, I think it's plausible.
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head, Spencer. For me, it's plausible as well. There's just enough facts for me to think that it's a possibility and probably a very good possibility. But there's not quite enough for me to just stray into the genius territory with this. So like you said, I need to see a little bit more, but I think it's a very, very solid plausible.
For me, Werewolf by Night is so beyond the cookie cutter Marvel that we've gotten for so long, but it's still not enough to make me believe they're not going to keep following their same formulaic stuff. That since it's red and Wanda's music or magic is red and the Reality Stone is red, I definitely believe that this is a remnant of chaos magic. So I will call this genius.
Nice.
I think that as much as they respect their audience, there are still plenty of their audience who, how do I say this kindly?
You don't have to say it kindly at all.
Okay. They need that handhold of like, oh, since it's red, it must be linked with this thing because they're red. And I wholeheartedly believe that. So that's why I will call this genius.
We clearly needed our handheld, or at least you and I did. I like holding your hand anyway, but we didn't catch this. And because it's red, we were able to make that connection because this person told us it was.
Right. I think the connection will be made down the line. Like at some point, because I'm pretty confident Wanda is going to come back, and possibly like Elsa and Wanda's paths will cross. Because I
love
think
that.
Yeah, and I think that there will be some kind of recognition there. Yeah, so that's why I'm giving this a genius.
Maybe if Wanda goes up and hugs Jack Russell, he turns into a wolf.
Maybe.
Because she's... Okay, well, since I made a...
Because she's a full moon?
No, because she's a chaos magic. If they put the red stone on him and he turns into a werewolf, if she hugs him and she is chaos magic, then...
Well, she's not... She's a person. She just...
No, she's not. She's a witch.
Chaos. Okay.
She channels the chaos magic.
Okay.
There you go. She channels it.
Well, since we've clarified that, it's probably about time to bring this episode to a close. But before we do, talking about a show that's in black and white made me recall this fascinating movie detail I saw on Reddit the other day. I didn't realize this, but user Tommy St. Johnny explained that actors in black and white movies were often putting their lives in danger during driving scenes as they weren't able to tell if traffic lights were red or green.
Oh my gosh.
You didn't think about that, did you? Like, and they still got paid so much
Poor Buster
lower.
Keaton couldn't see the colors.
So much of a lower pay despite the increase in danger.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
incredible. What a fact.
You learn something
That-
every day.
It's amazing.
You truly blew my mind with that one.
I can see the blood all over
Yes.
the room in there.
Is it red or is it black?
It's gold.
There we go. Yes. Awesome. Well, this has been Fan Theory Queries. I'm Laura.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Spencer. In our next episode, we ask, where do those super creepy angel statues that cry in Doctor Who come from?
They're called Weeping Angels, Spencer.
Yes, could they actually be former Time Lords? Subscribe to Fan Theory Queries so you don't miss out on that and other fascinating fan theories. Subscribe to Fan Theory Queries so you don't miss it.
The way you said yes.
I know.
Yes.
Just cracked me up.
Fan Theory Queries is part of the Airwave Media Podcast Network. Visit airwavemedia.com to listen and subscribe to their other fine shows like All Creatures, When Things Go Wrong, and Who Arted?
Monsters are as old as humanity itself. Monsters embody our fears. Yet, they help us define the boundaries of what it means to be human. We know most monsters aren't real, yet we can use monsters to learn about reality, psychology, biology, folklore, literature, critical thinking. We're on a journey to learn about the world through the lens of monsters. And we hope you'll come along with us. Subscribe at monstertalk.org.